Demonic tells me many things. Like that now, you're listening to the unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast. Revel in what you are.
This is the unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast. Feel the pain in the blast. Through the ropes, through the fight, Maritime Wrestling walls the night. The past, the present, the future. Maritime Wrestling never dies.
Hello and welcome to the unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast, the hangover edition from IPW last Saturday, joined by the band themselves, Corey Robichaud, the big boss. What's going on?
Man, you say hungover. I was definitely a little hungover yesterday. We recorded this on Monday, so Mark can go see a band at the casino on Tuesday. That's what Mark's doing on Tuesday. So, I was a little hungover yesterday, but not legitimately from liquor, just from I'm not used to getting home at 1 a.m. and I'm a pussy. So, no regrets.
Speaking of Mark, Mark, how's it going? You seemed like you had a blast on Saturday, so how's it going?
The best time. I'm doing amazing. Yes, I was tired, absolutely, but it was well worth it. I would do it again in a heartbeat, honestly. Such a good show.
September. And finally, the Magic Man himself, Jason Casey. What's going on, bro?
Oh, living a dream. Another day, another dollar. Hungover, yes, tired, long day, but I wouldn't have traded in for anything. It was a fantastic time.
Before we get into the IPW show, there was another show this weekend. And I can't wait to see this on YouTube. I don't know if it's out yet. I worked all day. United Wrestling had another banger of a show. FKA, he beat El Fuego Dragon. I'm really happy to see Dragon still wrestling. You don't see him a lot. An early supporter of a podcast way back in the day. Just glad to see him, still around.
Yeah, I've never had the chance to see him wrestle live. I have seen a lot of footage on him. One of these days, I'll get out to a show and see him wrestle.
I've seen him wrestle a couple times.
A long time, but I've seen him wrestle a lot. I remember watching him wrestle his way up through the VIP on IHW back in the day.
Yep.
So, or was it called the VIP? I don't even remember what they used to call them back then. It wasn't the VIP though.
Mega Pass.
The Mega Pass still is the Mega
still
Pass.
That, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. The terminology escapes me. I am old, but I remember him coming out of training, and he was unique. He had a really fun gimmick. It wasn't. It was the second luchador in the Maritimes, but a lot different than Fantana. I haven't seen him in so long, so I'm glad he's wrestling. Love to get out to a show and check him out sometime.
He was not the victor here. FKA, and anybody listening to this, what does FKA stand for?
FKA.
Definitely. I agree.
You know what would be the funniest thing ever? FKA stood for Jefferson James.
Yeah, he put out something today, actually. There's some stars behind his, behind the letters now, X amount of stars or whatever, and apparently that's what it stands for. It's some kind of code. People got to try and figure it out, but I'm not good at that kind of stuff, so I'll just
Frank Killer Artois. He is Auguste Artois' younger brother.
I don't know, fluffy koala athlete.
Oh, you're onto something.
Floppy klutz. I don't know.
It fits, Jason.
Floppy klutz. What the fuck?
Forgotten kind of already. I don't know.
That's mean. That's just mean, dude.
Yeah, I've been poking fun at him all day, so he knows it's all in good fun. But he's a good wrestler, and I'm sure this would have been a good match to see.
Funky Killer Agent.
Funky Cole Medina?
Something.
I think this match would have been absolutely awesome. Two guys that I really like. So, you know, hopefully we'll see it someday
Absolutely.
in our area. JP Sims, he beat Backwoods. What can you say about JP Sims? I don't think Dave Boyce was here. But, JP, living legend in the Maritimes, champion everywhere he's been. Getting a big win over Backwoods. Backwoods not wrestling a whole lot lately. I think United might be the only place he's wrestling, right?
Yeah, this year for sure. I know he was with New Breed for a while, but I haven't seen him there either in a bit. So
Yeah.
this seems to be the only promotion that he's working at the moment.
With UCW a bit last year as well, right? He was tag team champions with Ethan Knight as the Heathens.
Was it last year or the year before? Maybe early 2024, maybe.
Yeah. I think so, yeah. So this must have been just a great match. JP is as advertised. Probably that simulator came in good hands, so.
Yeah, Leo, Mr. Angry Whopper.
Mr. Angry Whopper. Thad Howitt beat Riddick Stone. This has been their main event feud lately.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're... what's their title name again? There's a new title, the Annapolis Valley Championship.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to use that as their secondary title or their world title,
Not sure.
but this feud needs a title.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Like, this is what, their third or fourth show, and Thad and Riddick have met on every show, I believe.
Yeah, they've had, I think it was a dog collar match. They've had a hair match for the GM, Joe Dunlap. Yeah, I don't know where this goes, but it's definitely going. It's definitely two big men. It's always cool to see those type of matches, two heavyweights going at it. So,
and you have to imagine that, I mean, this is Thad's, third win over him? You have to imagine if a title's on the line, they're going to put it on Riddick. After eating all those losses.
either one of them could be a champion. So,
Yeah.
I
I think they trade the title back and forth, though.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
So we could say that these are their top two guys, basically, for the long
That's their main
run, I
event
guess.
feud, yeah, for right now. And it's
Yeah.
what I enjoy about the Maritimes and certain promotions that uses certain guys. Like, this is a perfect example where you look at their main event feud, it's Thad and Riddick, but not too far behind. In fact, in front for this one is the main event on this night for the United Tag Team Championships in a TLC match. Deuce and Riggs beat AWOL, and that's been the other feud going on. Alex Miller split open during this match. Valiant effort by AWOL, but the new champions are Deuce and Riggs. The title belts are in the style of the old WWF tag team titles from mid to late 80s, 90s. This is a big stage for AWOL. Main eventing a TLC match. Not getting the win, but you have to imagine that the titles are going to find their way to them sooner rather than later.
No, eventually, I'm sure they'll definitely end up with the titles. But yes, like you say, they're a young team, but a TLC match for somebody so young in the business is a good way to learn.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? The two guys, Riggs and Deuce are bigger men than AWOL. Alex Miller's a big guy, but Deuce is a towering tank compared to Miller. From what I understand, I don't even think Deuce and Miller made it in the ring at all at any point in the match. They
Really?
pretty much beat the piss out of each other outside the ring, the whole match. So
Really?
yeah,
That's very interesting.
yeah. So and it looks like there was a lot of things going on in the ring. I know that Devaro hit Riggs with a 2x4 wrapped in barbed wire. I think a Deuce at the end of it got in the ring, put Devarro through a door. So there was a lot of carnage for sure.
A lot of plunders that the road would say.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, you also forgot a match there. So after we're done talking about this one, there was one more match that you missed.
Okay. Oh, Robbie McAllister and Kyle Cruz. I did miss that.
I think TLCs have their place. They're tough though. They're hard on the body. I can think about, again, that's not a secret here. Corey and I are really good friends, and Mark, good friends with BT Bobby Mann. And BT's had some table matches and some different gimmick matches. And regardless of what you have a table match, you might as well have a ladder match, you might as well have a TLC match. They all blend together.
Yeah.
And sometimes coming out of the man, his body was a little beat up. There's no way to take a 2x4 wrapped in barbed wire and not have it suck. There's no way to take a kendo stick to the back and not have welts the next day. These are things that shorten careers. Like it or not, I think you can only have X number of these over the course of your career. So I wish I was there. I'm not heartbroken that I was at IPW though. It's a hell of a show, but I can't wait to see this match on YouTube, and glad nobody got hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I've seen some clips, and it did look like it was a good match.
Yeah. The one match that we did forget is Robbie McAllister beating X-Ray Kyle Cruz. Battle of the Veterans here. Thoughts on this, Jason?
I think it would have been a fantastic technical match. Two guys that are, like you say, veterans, a little older than the rest of the guys on the card, so more calculated, less unnecessary bumps, I think. I think it would have been a fun match to watch like two real vets go at it head to head. I think it would have been cool.
Yeah. So, with that being said, that was the United Wrestling show results. We haven't seen any, little brief because we haven't seen the show, so we're just going off results that we've heard. So we can't talk about spots.
A couple little clips that Devarro shared.
Clips, yeah.
Thanks to Devarro for sending us the results too.
Oh, fucking man over there. Oh, boy, Devarro. Not every hero wears capes, eh? Some of them wear fucking hockey jerseys. And
next TLC match, he should wear a cape.
Camouflage.
Where they have a camo and they have a shitty haircut. Some heroes have a shitty haircut. Thanks, Devarro.
Oh, man.
So we are going to now get into our weekend IPW Game On.
Whoa!
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We can start with Friday. Part of the weekend, motherfucker. How was everybody's Friday?
Shitty.
Pretty quiet. Worked on some graphics and stuff for the Tide and getting ready for IPW.
I golfed a little. It was good. It was good for me. Mark, how was yours?
That's why you wanted to talk about it. I didn't go golfing. Right. I was working. Talking shit about the government.
Carry on.
I was golfing.
Where'd you go golfing, Corey?
I was St. Margaret's again. I was on St. Margaret's again. Went golfing at my tea time was just before I got there, just before 9 in the morning. It had rained the night before. I am telling you that I couldn't see 5 feet in front of me through the black flies. There was black flies everywhere. Unbelievably, man, there was bugs everywhere. It was crazy.
Crazy.
I had a few times I got in my cart and just flew down the fairway and then drove all the way back just to get the black flies away from me so I could take a shot without flies in my mouth. So it was a rough night. Anyway, that was my Friday. We'll carry on. Jesus.
Oh, back to Saturday.
Who brought up
Saturday?
Who brought up the rest of the weekend? What a douchebag. Back to Saturday.
Yeah, I wonder who. So Saturday we made the trip to Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, at the PEI Brewing Company.
What a venue!
The venue, yes.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Where are we starting on the day?
Well, we can start on the drive.
All right, so I picked Corey up. And I've been feeling a little, anxious, or a lot of anxiety. I've been having some anxiety attacks.
Got worse the second he saw me.
Listen, it's been a little, up and down. Probably because I didn't have a very good round of golf on Friday and causes anxiety. Anyway, I picked Corey up, and I'm like a little, this son of a bitch is like, hey, it's been so long. Almost gave me a fucking kiss. He was so happy to see me. And I was like, Jesus, set yourself a little bit. A little bit. And he immediately gave me shit for picking him up 10 minutes late.
The thing that made me laugh is we get to Shediac. So we're gonna meet up Jason and Mark in Shediac, and we're going in Mark's car.
We won't tell them where we leave our car so that nobody can vandalize our car.
Yeah,
Very super secret location.
Yep.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Capital
Capillet, there you go.
Oh,
So we're getting into the car. First thing I do is I whack my knee on Mark's car, the knee that I had my prolotherapy on, and
sugar
for like
knee. His sugar knee.
my sugar knee,
Yes, it was.
and right on the lump. I'm like, so I'm like, I'm so happy to see Jason, and he's like, "Are you crying?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am. I'm so happy to see you. It hurts."
Now, for me, this brought back all the old BSHL road trips.
Yeah.
Corey pissing and moaning during a road trip. It wouldn't feel like a road trip without it.
Yeah, he's correct, folks.
Oh man.
We get there, we drive, and it was a nice little trip and all that. But
I got some Farmer's
back up.
chocolate milk. Fucking
Don't-
delicious. Gotta
don't
go back
forget it.
before that.
Don't forget about the double lanes at Timmy's that Mark liked.
Oh my
It
God.
was so it was legit a double lane that merged into a single lane. Like,
And he's
just
acting
leave it
like
as
he's
one.
never seen this.
No, but like
I
you
will
know,
say
have
this.
two speakers maybe to take orders or something.
I will say this: Mark getting annoyed might be the funniest thing ever.
Oh, 100%.
Because it
ranting.
comes so out of nowhere. Like he's always joking and all that. All of a sudden he's like, dude, why the fuck does the double lane turn into one lane? Just have another speaker or make it one lane. And he turns to Corey, and Corey's got his hand on his head and just looks at him like, what am I getting myself into today?
I
It's not
contemplated
too
just
late.
walking back to my car.
But the drive was well. Got on the bridge. Bridge was
Drive
fine.
Well, the drive was well.
The
the
drive
bridge
was well.
was still there.
The bridge was still there. We
found it okay on the way over. Not so good on the way back.
Oh, we'll get to that at the end.
Oh,
So we fucking get there, and Luke is there.
yeah.
In the
Luke
parking
is
lot.
there, and I'm sorry, Luke. I'm gonna tell the story once it happens. But he is like, I got something done, and we're like, what'd you get done? And he pulls out this giant Orion flag.
Beautiful.
Beautiful flag. I want one of the Ultimate Warrior now. It was so beautiful. I'm gonna have to go on. What was it?
Timu.
What was the website again? Timu. So
Memory of a cow is moo for you.
Moo.
God.
So he's telling us about this. He's showing us this. It's beautiful. It's fucking great. So anyway, he's like, I got it all planned out. I got a sign. He's gonna rip it. As he's ripping it, I'm gonna grab it in my pocket and show it to him, and it's gonna be a surprise. And we'll talk about the results once we get to the match. But we get to the venue. The venue is unbelievable.
Oh, wait a second. We got a story before that.
Man, we had to walk in before we saw the venue, Corey.
No.
Jeez.
Oh, no. Even pulling into the driveway. The guy
No. So I'll talk about that. I'm sure, Jason. So we're waiting for a parking spot. There's this guy backing out of a parking spot, and he did a 72-point turn. I've never seen somebody back less. Beep boop, beep boop, beep boop, beep boop. Finally, he was out. So Mark pulls in, one shot, like a fucking pro. Mark's actually a really good driver. Directions, driving, stellar. So anyway, we parked there, and Luke's 2 cars over. So he gets out of his car, comes over and sees us, because we're a bunch of pricks that are too lazy to go see him. And then the car between us leaves, so we're talking. And another car comes and parks between us, but sees that we're talking to Luke, and he tells Luke, hey, you move over a spot, I'll take your spot. So Luke goes, okay, this guy, such a nice guy. Whoever you are, you're never going to listen to this. Thank you. So he pulls over. Luke pulls to park next to us. And as he's backing up, one of us goes, roll up your windows. Everybody roll up your windows and ignore him. So Luke goes out of the way to park directly next to us to talk to us, turns and looks over. We've all got our windows up and we're looking straight ahead.
And Luke is French, and all you can hear is like a very faint "Hosti tabarnak."
Ay, 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 ay.
We love Luke. Luke, he's going through some rough times right now. We're here for you, brother. But let's get into this. Let's get into the venue itself. Absolutely beautiful. You get into this place, and it's like unbelievable.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And I like the way they have it
perfect.
separated. Like they got the bar
Yeah.
on one side, and you get those big doors, like barn doors, with another door inside that
Yeah.
the venue for the show is on the other side of that, so you can still run your bar as well as have a show, like a private show on the other side. And even the private show side is phenomenally a nice size as well. Probably, 200-300 people you could fit easy.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah.
It was
And
funny
high
because we
ceiling.
sat at a table.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we sat at a table there. We got our VIP stuff and posters and pictures and pins
Lander
and
with the VIP thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
really, really cool. And we're seeing wrestlers. We see Karma Rain and we see Stormy Hale and
Ryan
we see Ryan Schimmel. We see Dwayne, and all of a sudden we see the walking gimmick himself, Sebi. And it's like the second Sebi sees someone that he knows he's going to be on.
He's trouble.
So he's like, he comes over and talks to us a little bit, and Corey goes, "You leave my shoes alone this week." And he's looking at Corey's shoes. So anyway, just a quick little powwow. He goes back in. All of a sudden, the door opens back, and we hear, "Nyeh." And we look, and there's a billion bubbles coming towards us. He opened the door, let the bubble guns fly. It was just, that's Sebi. That's Sebi right there. He's so awesome. The doors finally open. Well, we didn't wait that long. Like,
No, we really didn't.
The whole
Even
experience was
Even the
really
waiting
great.
Area, like you could get there early, get a drink, have a bite to eat, and sit there and wait for the doors to open. They were checking people in early, so you could go up. They'd scan your ticket or take your name if you didn't have a ticket, Luke, and then they'd give you your VIP bags. And these VIP bags it was an envelope with like I said, about handful of stuff that actually, like, those little touches though.
I think the envelope alone was a cool idea because it was a bubble envelope. So if you bought an 8x10 from somebody, you had something to put it in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's I didn't
Very
think of that.
true way.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
It's the little things. Yeah.
So the doors open, and we meet Justin Summers for the first time. And super nice on the podcast. In person, what a dick. No, I'm just kidding. Justin was fucking awesome. Like, the second he saw us, big hugs all around. He's, I'm so glad you guys made the trip. A real class act,
100%. The whole company.
and even Adam Doucette, got to see him, got to shake his hand. We take a table, and I'm going to tell the story of Luke with the burger.
All right.
So they have these burgers there, and Luke comes over and he's got a burger. He's like, "Smash burgers!" Oh, they're fucking. He takes a big bite, and I'm like, "Yeah, they look good." And he goes, "Take a bite," and he hands me his burger. I'm like, "No, I'm gonna buy my own." So I go and grab a couple burgers myself. They're fucking amazing. Like, really, it really was the hockey experience.
It was a great spot, man. I know the boys all sat in the VIP section of the table. I went and sat by the entryway to get some pictures. I had somebody ask me if there was a fight or if we were grudging. No, we're not. We're not that kind of a podcast. We get along well. At the end of the day, Corey and I both take this very seriously. So does Jason. So does Mark. And my role on the night was to take pictures. I love to do it, and I could tell that I was going to the right spot to take really high quality pictures. I had to drive up with these pricks. I had to drive back with these pricks. I was happy to get a 3-hour break from them. Christ.
It's normal for like the hockey podcast. Yeah. If we're going 4, it's not unnatural to have someone in every corner of the building.
Yep.
You know, I'm doing a live stream. Corey's down below taking pictures. Cheryl's on one side recording clips, and somebody else is somewhere. You know, it's not. At the end of the day, it's not a job, but it's something we take very seriously, and it's just small sacrifices like that.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Corey was on the other side. He was close to the entrance, getting great pictures.
Oh, amazing pictures.
But Thank you. Mark and I on the opposite side, completely different angle. We're getting spot shots and videos.
Yep, video clips.
You know what I mean? So it's.
And I'm drinking beer and eating burgers.
So here's the thing, though. Corey was not drinking schooners.
I was
not.
What
was going on?
Well, I asked. I'm not a fan of flavored beers, like Rattlers and all that. I that's not a beer to me. It's a cooler. So I asked the guy, like, what's just your regular beer? It's like the Blondie. Like, give me a Blondie then. And pretty tasty beer.
In his life, he loves a good Blondie.
He's the biggest
Blondie was great.
of this group, and he's like the second youngest.
that's a shoot right there. That's actually a shoot. But yeah, let's get into the card here. On VIP, we had Stormy Hale beat Karma Rain by disqualification. The way they booked this match was done to perfection, because you're building up Karma as this monster destroyer. Her nickname's the Ring Breaker for a reason.
Yeah.
She hung Stormy Hale up in the Tree of Woe and started choking her with her feet, and referee called for disqualification. The little nitpick that I will have here, I feel like the disqualification came a little quick. I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then try to pull her off. Give the referee a shove. Just get disqualified like that. A little nitpick. Made Karma Rain look like a beast, like a monster, which is what they need to do. They need to build this final boss character for the women's division. Stormy Hale, the athleticism on this girl is unbelievable. And a little bit of... Here's something that I really enjoyed about Stormy Hale. Match was great, everything. It's the attention to detail.
Yeah.
She gets into the ring later on for the 50-50. Sorry, I might let my voice might crack up because of what happened in the VIP. She's selling the injury.
Yeah, 100%.
You look at guys on WWE that potentially has a broken ankle. Match is over. They're hopping up and down. Everything's fine. Like miracle drugs, it just happened. She's selling the throw, and she's like, even when I did some interviews, they might be at the end, they might not be. Depends. I know the interview in grand total was 27 minutes long, so we got a lot of them. But even during my little interview with her, she's my voice is a little. She's still selling it. Taught the right way.
Yep.
Just amazing. These girls for an opening match for the VIP. I was not disappointed with this. My little nitpick, I wish there would have been a little bit of more fuel to the fire for the disqualification. Yeah. But the match was great. You guys, what do you guys think?
Well, I did want to mention a couple of things actually that I feel do really need to be said. First one was that IPW. This is since the relaunch of IPW,
the new era.
This is the first women's match on the VIP. Now there was another one later on, which was technically, I guess, outside of the VIP, the return of it. But this is the official, their first women's match. And I just wanted to point out the fact that, we did talk about this a little bit on previous episodes, recent episodes as well, how Karma Rain is still just returning and getting back into it. So that's really thick of things. Yeah, that's really good. And Stormy Hale did also mention that this was her third match.
Yeah,
So like,
Yeah,
this is
she's-
insane. That was a really, really good match on her
Yeah.
part.
I
Yeah,
agree.
so they both did really, really good. Like Karma Rain building her character and, you know, seemingly having fun as well doing it, you know, from what I've seen. So
And you just mentioned their character development.
Yeah.
Which is something that's missing in not just maritime wrestling, and wrestling in general.
100%.
Like the character development. IPW's got their finger on the pulse on something. I haven't been this excited for a promotion since North Pro debuted in 2020. You know, just the hype of all that, and with IPW, just their second show, just little things. I look at Corey's face, big grin on his face, because I'm quoting him right now. It's the little things that they do, just the little things that matter.
Luke, going back to talking about Luke. Luke mentioned on his Facebook page how much he enjoyed the show and how they're doing things right. And I saw there was a comment underneath of it. What is it that they do right that other promotions can do? What is it? Well, I'll tell you, as a wrestling fan, it's the completeness of the show. It's the selling, it's those little things, the way it's booked. They introduce the refs, nice little touch. They have a little pyro. They've got a little smoke machine. They've got a little lights show action. Like it, and then they have a Titantron basically set up top, which unfortunately that's what's going to be known to me. But they have the IPW Tron up top. It's the little details. There's a barricade around the ring. The wrestlers can use that barricade. It also acts to keep fans away from the ring. Amazing how that works. There's a gap between fans and the ring so the guys can work outside the ring. Like, it's a lot of little things.
Even the VIP section is separate.
The VIP section is separate.
With tables.
Tables. Extremely close to the bar so Corey can go get his endless refills of non-scooter.
the blondie.
It's a lot of little things. But yeah, I mentioned Karma Rain. In Miramichi, I'd seen a match. And in IHW in Riverview, I'd seen Karma wrestle. And how, having seen Karma before she took the hiatus, and then now coming back, you can see that while she couldn't work on a lot of things in the ring while she was off, what she could work on was character development and the psychology behind what she was doing. Before, she was just this monstrous wrestler, but there wasn't really like any logic behind it. Now you can see like the development, and there's logic behind what she's doing in the ring. And like you said, man, you don't see that everywhere. Maritimes is, man, special. And this promotion is special, and that was a great opening match.
Absolutely.
100%.
The VIP was not over, though. We got a triple threat match as Ryan Schimmel beat the Mauler James Manning and the Philippine Dream TJ Miguel. Another great match. Ryan Schimmel is someone that is, I think last year, I mentioned Rudy Lockhart is going to be a huge name in 2025. Ryan Schimmel, by the end of 2025, beginning of 2026, is going to be a huge name. He's on his way. He reminds me of, like, he's another guy that I interviewed at the end of the night. His promo style reminds me of Kenny Omega. A very, like, soft-spoken but still menacing. He gets the win here. His move was like it was a sort of F5.
Yeah.
It wasn't a fireman's carry. It was like a power slam, like lifting him up like the British Bulldog would do the running power slam, but flipping him into an F5. It was really creative. I enjoyed it big time. And then the Mauler James Manning. I think one of the coolest looks in the Maritimes right now. I love the facial hair.
Yeah.
Like, just, it's all over the place. I still think they should give him the heart punch as a finishing move. I think it would be so awesome. TJ Miguel, first time seeing him here. Still young in his career. A lot of promise.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's another one of those guys that if he can branch out into a few other places, I think he could be a major star in the Maritimes. I think there's something different about him. I noticed he's big on the anime style of things. Immediately when I see that, I think of him and Thad Howard as a tag team.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So your thoughts on this match, gentlemen?
I mean, I think it was great. Like you said, TJ Miguel, still young, still new. He is spreading his wings a little bit. I noticed that he was on Superstars of Wrestling not recently.
Yeah, that's right.
But he likes doing some of the higher flying stuff too, which is cool. So he did the whole rope walk, arm drag. So it's fun to watch. Like I say, he's new. James Manning, I heard the guys behind us refer to him as John Moxley. Everybody says he looks like John Moxley. But I love his style. I love the way he wrestles. It's just, I mean, he goes by the Mauler, and that's exactly what it is. He's a menace. I
like the hate gimmick.
Yeah.
Like it's so simple, but sometimes simple works.
Yeah, exactly. Don't overcomplicate things if you don't have to. And I mean, what can you say about Ryan Schimmel? He keeps getting better and better every time you see him, and his character and charisma is just as good, if not better, than his in-ring performance, and his in-ring performance is fantastic. So,
I saw Ryan Schimmel for the first time at my last North Pro show, which was in November. Mm-hmm. And from November to June, the guy has evolved into someone you can see a little nerves, whatever. Now he's ready to take that next step. He's on the verge of taking that next step. Corey, your thoughts on Ryan Schimmel in this match?
I like the match. I think 3-ways are hard. It's hard to get timing down right. It's hard for everybody to get their stuff in. I always feel that 3-ways, 4-ways, they're not easy to book, especially as younger talent. I thought this was a good match. I'm a huge Manning mark. I mean, every time I see him, I enjoy him. He's fun, super nice guy. Hadn't seen TJ Miguel. I don't think I've seen Ryan Schimmel. So first time seeing both those guys, young talent.
No, you saw Schimmel.
Yeah, you were there at that.
You were there at that North Pro show that I'm
against
talking
Bobby
about.
Boyette, actually.
It was in the VIP.
Yeah.
All right, sure. I was there. I saw that match. I don't remember, man. It's all a blur.
You were sitting right next to me.
Were we on the stage for that show?
We were on the stage.
Say no more. I saw Ryan Schimmel in November. It's all a blur. That was a hell of a show. Oh man, that's some memories. Why does that feel like it was so long ago?
Because it was.
Crap. Solid, man. Good match. I enjoyed this 3-way. This was the end of the VIP. I think it was a damn good VIP.
Yeah. No complaints there. Mark, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, well, I was just going to mention, actually, like up to this point already, 2 matches in, that there are 3 wrestlers that I had never seen before.
Which are?
Both Karma, Stormy, and now TJ Miguel. And all 3 of them have impressed me to this point. Really, really unique, that TJ Miguel. I would love to see more of him, even down the line, see his development, see where that goes. Really would love to. And also, I wanted to mention for Ryan Schimmel, as of right now, like in regards to multiple people in the ring at the same time, I wouldn't be scared to put him as kind of the quarterback of that match.
I 100% agree.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I think
wasn't he a part of the Fatal 4-Way match from TakeOver?
Yep.
It was him,
there you go.
Hayden, Dominic Warrior, and forgetting the other one. TJ Miguel. Was it?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's, it only makes sense. Like, he's getting that experience, and already he seems so confident in it. So, honestly, why not?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The VIP ended, and we start the night off with the first tournament match as Rugged Rick Owens beat Bobby Boyette. Bobby Boyette as a heel works.
Yeah.
But having talked to Bobby Boyette, having seen Bobby Boyette in action as a babyface, it's hard to boo the man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a likable guy, very likable guy.
Yeah.
And what can you say about Rugged Rick Owens? Over wherever he goes. The second that little twangy music hits,
The only country song you like.
yeah. Is Johnny Cash considered country?
Yeah? What
He
the fuck
is.
kind of a question
Okay.
is that? Am I considered
I like Johnny
fat?
Cash.
Am I considered fat? Yeah, that's considered country.
All right, I'm a
Holy.
Johnny Cash fan, so I do like some country, I guess. But, you know, Rugged Rick Owens, he's one of those legends in the Maritimes, over 20 years. And you see him, I don't know, this match was... Someone told me this match was better than it was supposed to be. And I kind of got offended by that. Because we know what Rugged Rick can do. We know what Bobby Boyette can do. And just, it was a hoss battle. I really enjoyed this. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it was a slugfest.
Yeah.
Experience, two big guys going at it, old school wrestling, no crazy moves, no crazy maneuvers, no high flying stuff, just two guys going at it, punch for punch, move for move, nothing crazy, but yeah, I mean, you need that stuff as well in a show, because if you have high flyers or high action or high performance matches one after another, the audience will burn out by the time.
It's the variety of it.
Yeah, you need the variety, and if everything is high octane all the time, you're going to burn out your audience before the main event shows up, and then everybody loses interest. So you need to have that roller coaster of a day, or a show.
Yep.
They also did the little corner spot, the smash the knee on the post thing. You don't see that every day anymore in wrestling.
No.
When I saw it, I kind of marked out a little bit. I was like, oh shit.
And it worked good too, because of Rugged Owens' knee brace and stuff. So yeah, it works good.
I will say this.
Oh.
They were on the outside,
Yeah.
and Bobby like rolled Rick into the ring, sort of, and then he climbed on the apron, and Mark goes, "Oh no!" And I go, "What?" And he goes, "Oh, never mind." I'm like, "What the fuck was that about?" He goes, "I don't know, man. I thought he was gonna splash him on the side of the ring." I'm like, "Okay." He goes, "That's the hardest part of the ring. Don't you know that?"
Yeah, well, I figured that he was going to go for like a splash outside the ring, because you never see those barricades. And I was like, oh man, like if there's a place to do it, it is here. And like he was getting up on the ring, and I was like, no, if I see this, I am marking out. Like this is it. I'm over. Yeah.
He's not called Mark the Casual Fan, folks. He's Mark the Mark.
No, exactly. But man, I love the match, and I talked to the guys about this since I did a Mark Side of the Ring episode where the match was Leo Burke against Rick Bartel.
Yep.
Where I've been really appreciating the whole mental aspect of a match, like breaking down a guy as you go down the match. Where there's a lot of matches nowadays where you see a guy kick out at 2 and the match is just starting. It doesn't make sense. And these guys, I feel they understand it, right?
Yeah.
So between Rick Owens and Bobby Boyette, they're not going to go for an immediate pin. They're going to break the guy down. They're going to fight each other. They're going to brawl.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
It's all about wear and tear.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, I'm really starting to appreciate really even more, not that I didn't appreciate them before, but these types of guys, Bobby Boyette, Rick Owens, there'd be others, I'd say like even Chris Cook, there'd be even, maybe even Thad Howitt. Like it's the explosiveness of it. It's breaking down a guy, like working on the knee, like Corey said, right? He was working the knee in the corner on the post. You don't see that anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, I'm really, really appreciating that aspect of things now a lot more than I was since I've reviewed that match. And I think I reviewed the right one, because it's
You can thank Uncle Dave for that one.
That is very true, Mr. David A. Boyce.
the man himself. Next sort of match. So this match never really got underway. The Ghost Ricky Mortis came out for his match with the big bad LG Logan Green. We did see Sebi and Daniel Wall, DDT, dudes doing things. They were there. So Ricky comes out, then Logan comes out, and then all of a sudden Logan points towards the back, and the Ghostbusters music hits. And they come out wearing parody shirts. It's the Ghostbuster logo, but the Ghost has Ricky Mortis's hat with the eyeball on it, with the eye. And get it? They're the Ghostbuster.
And the Ghost
had a beard.
Yeah.
Get it? It's the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, Jason, what happened during this match?
What didn't happen during this match? Technically, it wasn't a match. They all came
during
out.
This angle.
Yeah. They all came out, literally started putting the boots to Ricky Mortis right away. Hit him in the head with a brick. Logan was accompanied by his girlfriend, his woman, his mistress, whatever you want to call her, Sabrina. She had a purse. In the purse was a brick. So they hit him in the head with a brick. Then dudes doing things, set up a couple sawhorses and a door. The three of them then proceeded to put Mortis through a door. Yeah, it was an absolute beatdown, 3-on-1 the entire time. Bell for the match never even rung, so the referee called it a no contest because the match never even started. Mortis was in no shape to be able to actually wrestle anybody. And
as we mentioned earlier, AWOL, his buddies, were not there that night. They were in United Wrestling. Yeah. So he was on his own here.
Yeah, and unfortunately he took the brunt of it, and but like you were saying earlier, Mark was saying too about like the selling and everything. Mortis sold this right till the minute he passed those curtains.
Yep.
Coming out of the ring, referee helping him out, gets in front of the announcer's table, collapses again.
Yep.
Gets back up. He's hobbling. He's holding his side. It was unbelievably fantastic. Well performed. Yeah, not sure where they're going to go next. September 6th, we will see what happens.
We will see.
I'm sure this is not over.
A few things here. Oh, there will be, I imagine. A few things here. Ricky Mortis coming just through the curtains is a superstar. He's got that swagger. He's got that look. He's got just...
That new baseball jersey he's got on is unbelievable.
Usually it takes years to find the perfect look. You look at a lot of guys, like I remember, who was it? You ever see Ed Leslie as Dizzy Hogan or Dizzy Boulder? Brutus Beefcake, Mark. Brutus the Barber Beefcake. He's got the blonde hair and it looks terrible. As Brutus Beefcake didn't look that half bad. It looked presentable. Ricky Mortis had a look that he wanted, and for whatever reason, it just clicked immediately.
Yeah.
Came through the curtains, the pyro, the smoke, the sparklers, everything. He's got his little hand gestures, the Maloik, as I call it, since you're a metalhead, over his head. The beard, gained some muscle, you notice that. Just looks like $1 million. 100%. And Corey's going to say, fucking, why don't you marry him? Yeah, sure, Corey.
Nothing. I'm saying nothing. I'm a huge fan of Ricky Mortis. I've got nothing negative to say here.
Yeah. I will mention a few names here that aren't part of this this segment, but Logan Green, dudes doing things, Daniel Wall and Sebi, and I'm also going to mention Zane Valentine and Auguste Artois. Those are 5 wrestlers that are a big reason why I continue to be a wrestling fan. Because they make it fun. Mm-hmm. They make me want to come back and buy a ticket for these guys. You hear who's a draw in the business. These 5 guys to me are draws. Because, like we've mentioned with Logan Green, Corey mentioned that a few weeks ago that his sister wanted to go to IHW specifically to go see Big Bad LG. You know, there are guys that are just so damn entertaining. I'm a heel guy. I enjoy the heels. The heels are so fucking entertaining. As a kid, you're for Ultimate Warrior, you're for Hulk Hogan for some people like Dave Boyce. Don't know why you would be, but, you know, to each his own. But now you look at the heels now in this promotion. Like, Zane Valentine is just so, like, we'll get back to the main event, but Bass wasn't there. No Class Eric Bass. So we're thinking we're safe. We're not going to get squirt. Nope. He brings a squirt bottle for him.
His name is blank Eric Bass.
Blank Eric Bass.
Get it right.
Just Eric Bass, please.
Eric Bass.
No
Eric.
legal issues here. Beep. Copyright infringement.
There you go. All right. So my point here is basically Daniel Wall, Sebi, Logan Green. Like, DDT is two guys that are overgrown children, basically. And I mean that as a compliment, because they are tailor-made for the wrestling business. They fucking enjoy what they do. Before the show started, they're at the merch table, and whatever music, Jason's got the bubble gun going right now.
No way.
They're at the merch table, and they're like going with the music. They're clapping their hands, and they're like, they're making it's hard to get people into shit. Like, to get them interested into anything. DDT can do it.
I'm gonna use a word. They were doing the gyration. Is that the word?
Oh my.
Gyrating.
The gyration.
Like,
Oh yes,
it's like vibrating in different ways.
This is getting weird.
It's getting weird. I loved the sawhorses. So they pulled out like two little sawhorses and put the door on it to act as legs for the table, and it worked perfectly. So any promoters that are thinking, do that, man. That was so good. I don't know. Small details, IPW. All about it.
Yeah.
Except that Sebi, that sign stealing, sign ripping bitch. I'm on to you, Sebi. Stay away from my shoes.
Yeah. And also, like, it was kind of funny because, like, it's like we said earlier, like, he creates chaos. I feel like
Bringer of ruckus.
He is chaos.
Yeah.
For some reason, I knew exactly what to expect of him, and it's my first time seeing him in a match.
Really?
I believe.
Really?
I think maybe in North Pro.
It's possible.
Once,
Has he done North Pro?
I think maybe once,
I think
possibly.
I don't remember.
But yeah, like he comes around. Anyway, I'm just standing around the merch table, and all of a sudden, somebody pats my back. I turn around and I see Sebi, and I'm like, immediately, I got something on my back. And I check and I do, and he's like, "Don't take it off." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, what is it?" And I don't think he wanted to tell me what it was, but it was a sticker of himself, as usual. So he was carrying stickers around. I was like, "Sure, I'll advertise you all night." And then he ran out. And that's it.
It's the way he sounds sometimes, like, and just the noises that come out of him that is just hilarious. Like, this guy is tailor-made for wrestling. And I think Daniel Wall might be the most overlooked guy from the Kaizen crew. He is absolutely hilarious. Him and Sebi together should always be a tag team.
100%.
I think this is a tag team that should be booked everywhere.
100%.
Because they're so fucking good together.
Yeah.
I absolutely enjoyed, like, just everything they did that night. Just to fuck with people. Just to pass their own time. You know? And just two amazing performers, you know? So, can't say enough good things about that. And, of course, Logan Green. Logan Green did disappoint me here. I asked him, "Are you booked for the Buck Deuce show?" And he said no. I was like, I don't know if I'm going anymore.
Yeah, that changes things for me.
So if the IHW guys are listening, you lost Corey, I think. Get the money. Get the money out. Get those
Get
bands.
the big bad LG.
It's a Monday night. It's hard to get some guys, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Everybody's got
It's
jobs
true.
and stuff, so
It's true.
not easy, but that is disappointing as heck.
It
But
is.
honestly, if you don't mind, though, I kind of wanted to touch on Ricky Mortis. I know you guys hate me for saying that.
I don't. That's your fucking line now. That's your
Listen,
I
t-shirt.
know.
Mark, I want to touch on Mark for 1 second.
Well, you go ahead. But anyway, but no,
Carry on.
I just wanted to say, like, Ricky Mortis, what I like about him is he could very well be in, like a tweener, like not a face nor a heel, where he could be like an anti-hero at a certain point in time, where he has that look that I feel like is the modern day, like, Raven's flock type of deal.
Someone compared him to Sting in WCW, like Crow Sting, the anti-hero, but more babyface than heel.
Yeah,
like just because
people like him. Yeah,
people like it's the backstory too. You know, he what's Jason? You remember the backstory? His ego. He died. Ego. What was the thing?
I can't remember now, but yeah, I know what you mean. It's I can't remember how it goes now.
So you're saying there's a backstory to Ricky Morton?
Yes.
The ghost?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've never heard of this.
Yeah. We'll have to bring it up on the next episode. I'll have to look it up or later if I can find it here.
Yeah, that's interesting. Never heard of that.
Yeah. So this angle, it wasn't a match, it was an angle. Both men, I think the way they described it is there is no winner, and there's no decision. There's no decision on, but there's no decision on the tournament. So every time that someone would advance, you'd hear the Mortal Kombat music hit, and you'd see like Rugged Rick Owens makes it to the second round. For that one, the pictures just got blank.
So it's blank, and it's got like the exclamation marks or the question mark.
Question mark, yeah. So we don't know
what
if
they're gonna do here.
They're gonna replace, like, say, well, they both got eliminated. We need someone to face whoever would have faced whoever.
Maybe
they bring in somebody else.
Yeah, maybe they have a completely different match their next show, like at the start, maybe during VIP. Not sure.
Here's an idea, though. Who was the last PEI, or not PEI champ, but the heavyweight champion?
Franco Varga.
Franco Varga, has he legitimately lost his title?
Every title was stripped.
It was they were all vacated.
So here's how it works for the titles. Zane Valentine was the last old IPW PEI champion. So when he beat Wesley Pipes at TakeOver, or
yeah,
TakeOver?
It was TakeOver, yeah.
TakeOver, yeah.
When he beat Wesley Pipes there, he started his second reign.
Yeah.
So with Franco Varga, he basically just got stripped as well, and we haven't seen him in IPW. Maybe we will at some point, but for right now, he is not there. But he is the final champion as of right now.
Because we haven't seen him yet, as you mentioned.
I think
was it advertised for the last show?
Maybe.
No,
I feel like he was advertised.
No, because I think what happens is you did mention, maybe it was you or somebody else, but somebody mentioned that they thought he might be the mystery
that might have been
guy,
it.
But then it ended up being Wesley Pipes.
No, it was Zane Valentine.
Or Zane Valentine.
It was Zane Valentine because he wasn't advertised. I believe they were advertised for a main show.
They were in Maine, yeah.
Yeah, and
That's
then
right.
they made it to PEI, so
yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna move on to the next match. The Vandal Chantel beat Danny Leo. We saw Danny Leo in North Pro a few times, an excellent worker. I feel like we've seen her and Chantel before.
I believe
Yeah.
we have.
North Pro, I believe they
It wasn't.
faced off. Yeah, might have been in a
So-
three-way match, if I'm not mistaken.
Might have.
I think it was Danny Leo, maybe
Mia
Divya
Malik? Is
Fiji.
that? Oh,
Divya Fiji, but it was Mia Malik.
No, I'm
yeah,
sure
Mia Malik was in a
there
tables
was-
match with them.
but there was another match at some point. I'm pretty sure.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Excellent women's match.
Yeah,
Chantel getting the win over Danny Leo. Danny Leo coming over from Quebec. You know, we got a guy from the States. We got two wrestlers from Quebec. And guys from all over the Maritimes. This felt like a really special show. And, you know, this is the technical first non-VIP women's match. Chantel, what can you say? She is... I hesitate to say the gatekeeper because I don't know if people would take that as a compliment or an insult. But Chantel, if you can get past Chantel, you can make it in the Maritimes. Like basically, she's the first test. If you know what I mean.
I wouldn't use the term gatekeeper because she could very well hold a title.
Oh, she
just
will.
Solely for that reason.
Yeah.
But yes, in a way, she could be a successful building block to making somebody's career if they were to defeat her for a title. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, just for that sole reason. She is a great talent. I think she will probably make it, like, you know, maybe TNA? Who knows? Maybe a couple of matches here and there. I'd love to see that. I would love to see that. And I think her character could fit. And especially since she is taking on, again, I mentioned this, I believe, in the last episode, but she did take on Tessa Blanchard. She is taking on Tessa Blanchard again in a triple threat. So why wouldn't we make that happen? If it is that successful to have them have a second match, right?
Yeah, exactly. Danny Leo. Ever since I've seen her in North Pro, she's been one of my favorite female wrestlers to watch. There's something about her, she does things differently. The cocky heel, you know, just almost like, she almost reminds me of a Mercedes Moné. Almost like the rich girl, the pretty rich girl that thinks she's better than you and all that. Meeting her after the show, sweet as sweet can be. But playing her character so fucking well. Thoughts on Danny Leo?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's as you said. I think she plays the character so well to the point where, like, during the match, it's so believable. Like, it's just, you know, it's that good. And then, like, after the match, you're like, you know, you're not sure what to think, but then you're like, okay, yeah, no, she is pretty nice. So.
Yeah, Mark had a little spot with her there with the sign there after the show.
That's true. I ended up on Instagram. I didn't know at first that I was in the photo, but I found, so as she was standing in front of me, I went by and there was a sign by my feet and I picked it up and I was like, huh, it said Danny is the best or something like that. And then I looked at her and I was like, oh, she's standing right there. And then I showed her the sign just for fun. I was like, look what I found. And then she looks at it, she's like, oh, cool. But then there were like footprints on it. So that was freaking sad. Like, it's really, really sad. And I was like, man, really? But yeah, apparently she keeps all these signs as like memories of the shows.
Really?
So that's kind of cool, right? So, like, she ended up taking a photo of it, which I didn't know was going to be in the photo, but it was super hilarious because I was beaming for some reason. It was really, really funny. But, yeah.
So, yesterday afternoon, Tracy and I were both sitting here in the office. I was editing pictures, and Tracy was working a little bit. And I go, Tracy, open up your Instagram. She goes, okay. I said, search for Danny Leo. And she goes, Silva's girlfriend? I go, search for Danny Leo. She does. I said, click on her stories. She goes, what? I'm just like, click on her stories. And so she does. And there's like 4 or 5 stories before Mark. She's like, what am I looking for? And I'm like, just skip through the stories. You'll know it when you see it. So she's flipping through. And then she sees it and she goes, oh, Jesus, it's Mark. And she laughed. She marked out. I was like, oh, my God. It's a great story. Corey, did you mention the rose ceremony?
We're not there yet.
Okay, we'll get there.
Might as well. Jason, did you get a chance to talk about Danny?
No, but I think she's fantastic. She hasn't been wrestling all that long either. I think she's got like 3 years. Maybe I think this is her 4th year in the business. I think 4 years, probably just up to almost close to 100 matches at this point already. And but she's wrestled for like tons of different promotions. So she's getting her reps in, and like you say, she plays the gimmick well. She plays that bitchy little rich girl really, really well. Snob, the girls that everybody hated in high school. You know what I mean? But
mean girls.
The mean girls. You know what I mean? And in real life, once she's outside the gimmick, she's the total opposite, which is
the
fantastic.
Sweetest sweetheart. I was shocked to see how nice she was.
Yeah, I mean,
it really was.
And that just goes to show how good she is at portraying her gimmick.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You can.
I've said this before.
Life, you can be a bitch in a ring, and people think, "Oh, well, that's a pretty cool gimmick." But
yeah.
If you're the sweetest person in the world, and you can be a bitch in your gimmick, then you're really good at what you do. So yeah.
I've said this 1,000 times. Wrestling is the greatest thing ever. People just don't know about it yet. Like just with moments like that. I'm going to let Corey take this one because he was standing right there when this happened. So the match ends. Chantal gets the win. Then the lights go out. And what happens?
No, Corey, I want to hear you describe it.
Can I describe it in
you go, Mark.
a couple of words?
A couple of words.
The Bachelor IPW edition.
Go ahead, Corey. You can go ahead and explain what happened first.
So the lights go out and we hear some familiar music. Chantel is still in the ring. She's like looking all confused. She gets out of the ring. So right where Corey was, the IPW Heavyweight Championship was there. I don't know if it was there at that moment, but Adam Doucette would go interview people in that corner. So Chantel is standing there. And we hear this music, and all of a sudden, Demonic comes out in a suit. And we had seen, I gotta mention this about Demonic. Thank you for Demonic, by the way, for doing our intro this week. Threatened to steal my soul if we didn't do that, so thank you, Demonic. He plays that character so fucking well. Yeah. We get into the arena. We get into the area where the ring is. Demonic is in his suit, walking around the ring like nothing. And he did that a few times. So the music hits
very somber, very
somber. I don't know, man. This character, you can take this character so many places. So many places. I'm so excited to see where this character goes. Oh, yeah, especially with this storyline right here.
You could easily pluck it out of wrestling and stick it in a movie.
Absolutely.
And it fits.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Demonic slowly creeps his way towards Chantel. Goes into his jacket. Everybody ducks, thinks he has a gun. No, I'm kidding. Pulls out a rose. Gives the rose to Chantel. Goes to the back. Chantel is left there confused. She blows kisses to the fans. End of segment. Another example of things that IPW are doing that other people aren't doing right now. Just a little story. Like, where does this go? It makes you sit there and think, it could go this way, or it could go that way. Is Demonic going to be controlling Chantel? Is Chantel going to be controlling Demonic? Is another wrestler going to come? Is this a King Kong type of situation, Beauty and the Beast, where he wants Chantel and now he's going to be stalking her. Like, there are so many possibilities on where this could go. So, Corey, you were right there.
Yeah.
You asked for a rose, you didn't get one. So
that's
I'll
a
tell that
shame.
story in a second. So after she gets the rose, Demonic's walking out, his music's still going, and she's looking around at the crowd going, does anybody know his name? Like, she had, she's playing up, didn't know who he was. Intermission comes shortly after. During the intermission, Demonic comes back out, and he's standing by the door, terrifying as ever. And I went over to see the boys, because like I said, I was a ways away from them, and I also wanted to get another cheeseburger. I'm just going to say that right now. Bacon cheeseburger with Alabama barbecue sauce, freaking delicious.
damn.
So I'm heading over there, and I'm passing by Demonic. And Demonic's terrifying looking. Nicest guy you'll ever meet outside of the ring, but my
Outside the
God, what a scary guy. So he's there, and I look at him, and I go, can I get a rose? And he was looking away from me, and he turned slowly, and he looked at me, and he stared at me for a solid 5 seconds, long enough for it to be awkward, right? Long enough for it to be awkward for me, and I was a little scared. And he just slowly shook his head no. And I said, is that a no? And he nodded yes. And I went, thank you, sir. And I just walked away terrified. And to be honest with you, I was a little scared. And then when I came back, I walked a long way around him. I was like, no, not today, buddy. I love Demonic. I love the character. Love the character development. Like Corey said, you don't see this everywhere. They're planting seeds for the future. That's wrestling.
100%. Yeah.
I think like what's happening up to now in the show of what we've discussed is the most that I've seen in regards to storylines and building characters ever from shows that I've seen. And that has me hooked line and sinker.
So bad. I'm so hooked.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, the show wasn't even over. I looked at Mark and Jason and I was like, I took a day off work for this. I never miss work. I work seasonal. You gotta work as much as you can. Gotta make bank, I guess you could say. I look at them and they had announced already Game Over is going to be on September 6th. And I just turned to Mark and Jason and I'm like, we're fucking going. Just that's it. We're fucking going.
100%.
And what's kind of funny, actually, now that you mentioned the name Game Over, I may have said this on the interview with
You did.
with Justin and Deuce, where they were like, okay, well, this one's Game On. And I was like, but the next one's Game Over, right?
And they're very secretive with, like, what they want to say, and we respect that. They want...
Let's rephrase that. Adam is extremely secretive. Justin, on the other hand, would tell you in a heartbeat if it wasn't for Adam.
But it's one of those things where, Mark kind of guessed it, and I do remember them going like, silent for a second, they're like, changing the subject now. But, great women's match. Love the angle at the end. Next matchup is the match right before the intermission. Giant Orion beat Alex Silva. We're not worthy for such a great match. This was fantastic. Legit didn't know who was going to take this one.
No clue.
I was leaning a little more towards Orion, but I wasn't sure. Alex Silva is an international superstar. He's everywhere.
Yeah.
Interviewed him at the end of the night. Just came back from Germany and France. Like, this guy is everywhere. This guy is great. Was in TNA.
Yeah.
And this is one that I was like, I'm not sure. We got to see the best choke slam ever. I'm not just talking this one. I'm talking about the greatest choke slam in the history of choke slams. Giant Orion took the boringest finisher ever.
Yeah.
And made it into possibly the finisher of the year.
Oh, yeah. It's the most destructive looking chokeslam you'll ever see.
Yeah, it's... Orion as a babyface works. Orion as a heel works.
Orion works.
Whatever.
Period.
Orion works. I remember a few years ago when Orion first made it to the Maritimes.
That's back when he was only 6'7", right?
Oh yeah, only 6'7". I remember like not being a fan of Giant Orion, the name. And I remember like popping Corey. I'm like, he could be Skyscraper Orion. He could be Mammoth Orion. I can't see him as anything but Giant Orion now.
Yeah.
So, thoughts on this match?
It was fantastic. Probably two of my favorite Maritime wrestlers at the moment. Definitely one of Mark's favorite, but
it's 13 feet now.
He's 13 feet. It's fantastic. I love watching Silva wrestle. It's just his style is completely different than anybody else you see. It almost looks like he's wrestling in MMA, and it's fantastic. And having Orion in there that is 13 feet now, Mark, is that it?
13 and a half. He grew half a foot.
Like that.
A big man that moves like a luchador, and that is unique. It's different. I don't see anybody else that can do that.
Just to touch on the way you talked about Alex Silva there, I think the word that would describe his wrestling style is his fluidity. Exactly. Everything just the way he hits the ropes, the way he'll just like they'll start a match and he'll give a little kick to the leg. Just little things like that. Just attention to detail. I don't know if anybody's been listening, but we are a big fan of attention to detail.
Yeah. Well, that's why I say MMA, right? Like if you see somebody that's like MMA fighters, I like MMA, and you see when they start a match, they go jab, jab, throw a little kick,
testing it out, feeling it out,
feeling it out, feeling the reach, and that's how Silva starts his matches. That's how he wrestles. So it's so fun to have somebody that does that differently than everybody else, and having these two guys that can move like Orion does and that can move like Silva does is fantastic. And like you said, I didn't know who was going to win this match. Either or would have been a fantastic competitor to bring to the next level. These two guys could easily main event any promotion anywhere in the world. Period. Hands down. Easily. Yeah. So this is one of my favorite matches of the night.
Same.
Yeah. And they're two of my favorites that are, well, I'm trying to find the words that I was about to say that are around here currently, but I guess that wrestle in the Maritimes right now.
Yeah.
Alex Silva just does every little thing with a purpose. And again, kind of touching as to what I was saying earlier about the psychology behind the match. They both do it so freaking well. And that was what impressed me, because every time that Giant Orion popped up and tried to do something, you notice how he chopped him right in the throat.
Yeah.
Yep.
How else are you going to take down a giant? You're going to either A, kick him in the balls, B, chop him in the throat, or like, I don't know.
Take out his legs, or like
something,
You have to have a strategy in order, you know what I mean? Like, they portrayed the match in a strategic manner, not just going out and doing random things. It had a flow to it. It was liquid.
Exactly. It started really, as you mentioned, it started a bit slower, technical, and then the heavy hits started coming, right? They were looking for the finish. You could see that they were getting kind of gassed, and, that it was part of the whole thing, and everything just fit like pieces of a puzzle, and that's what I loved about this. Absolutely, main event anywheres.
They're building momentum throughout the match was fantastic.
Corey?
No, I mean, I enjoyed this match a lot. I think Silva's one of the best guys that comes to the Maritimes from outside regularly, at least. There's more guys I'd love to see come more often, but I love that Silva comes every few months. I love seeing him outside of North Pro as well. Just a talented guy, man. Giant Orion, the development's been wild, and the fact that we get a front row seat to it is a pleasure. This guy could still be in Alberta or somewhere in Western Canada, and we'd only hear about him and see him a little bit. but we have the pleasure of getting to watch him in multiple promotions right in our backyard.
Exactly.
The guy is super talented, super down to earth, very nice man. It's bizarre that somebody his size is as unintimidating to meet as he is.
Such a nice guy, yeah.
He's just a very kind guy, but in the ring he's terrifying.
Yeah.
Mark's favorite wrestler in the Maritimes, I know that. But I just like seeing Orion, man. He deserves everything that he's getting.
And one thing about Giant Orion is, like, the music hit and this huge pop. Yeah. Like, fans were genuinely excited to see him, especially our buddy Luke.
Not just Luke, everybody.
Not just Luke, but our buddy Luke. Luke had... sorry, Luke, I've got to tell the story now. So Luke had the flag made for Giant Orion. So he's got the flag in his pocket, and he's got this pink sign that says, "Rip my sign." Orion looks at the sign, he rips it, then Luke's got it planned in his head. The second that he rips the sign, I'm gonna go in my pocket for the flag, and he's gonna show him the flag.
Hold on, Mark. And say first.
So one thing though, like for those that don't know, just like in case somebody doesn't quite understand, like what happens is that Luke brings a sign to each single show that Giant Orion is at, and he is going to rip it and throw it in his face. It's
sort of like the gimmick.
Yeah.
So, but Orion's the baby face here. He's a clear baby here. So he rips the sign, and Luke goes to his pocket to find the flag, and like you can't see me, but he's like checking his pocket. He can't find the flag.
It was, and the fact is that he told us before the show started. He's like, okay, he's gonna grab the sign. I'm gonna grab the flag right away and show him the flag right away.
And he told Orion, he's like, after you rip the sign, wait a second, I've got something to show you. And Orion goes, well, you got to do it quick. I've got to keep moving. He goes, yeah, I'll do it quick.
And he's looking, and at one point he unzips a pocket, and he's like, I got it. And he's like, it was my wallet.
And he was going through. It looked like something you'd see in a slapstick comedy. Corey and I were losing it at the table. We're like, "Oh my God, Luke, we feel so bad." Orion's standing there looking at him. He's checking every pocket. I think he checked his pocket with the flag like 6 times, and then Orion turns and then starts walking away, and then he checks the pocket again, and then the flag comes out. And
that's the funny part is it's so like built for a movie. The second he turns around, he finds the flag.
Pulls the flag out, and then for the next 5 minutes, he's trying to say, "Look, I finally found it," and Orion's not looking over. It was the funniest. I was crying. I was laughing so hard.
We love Luke.
Venue, so I didn't get to see it, and they didn't hear the story told that way until now. That's amazing, man. Thank God there's a mute button.
Oh, yeah. It was so funny.
It was the panic.
Finally, Orion's such a great guy, though, because Luke is trying to show him his flag. Because Luke went through all that work to get the flag done. And finally, Orion, it's a great flag. Like, one of you is going to help me get an Ultimate Warrior one like that, by the way.
Yeah. After the funniest part is after I got home, after you guys we got home, I went back and I watched the show again. It was on YouTube. So I was like, I just want to see the different angles, right? So it gets to that part, Orion rips the thing, and the camera guy's behind Orion. So Orion's standing there, and you can see Luke doing this. So I was laughing like a fool. I was like, oh my God. So I just relived it again. It was so funny.
Orion did eventually, from the ring, point to Luke, and he goes, "That guy knows." So Luke got his moment in the sun, but oh my God, you feel bad, but at the same time, it was so funny.
So funny.
Just the
Luke,
panic.
I love you to death, man. I love you to death.
It
buddy.
made the moment, man.
Yeah. It's one of those moments that's gonna live with us forever, and just amazing. So
it definitely helped pop the situation and the trip for sure.
Yeah. Go to intermission, come back from intermission, 2 matches left. August Artois beats Wesley Pipes in the next tournament match. This was the first time me seeing August Artois, and the only question I had is, when can I see him again? This guy enjoys what he does. This guy is I love a wrestler that has no filters.
Oh, yeah.
He comes into the crowd where we were, and he's like hiding behind guys, like, "Oh, you want to go fight him?" Blah, blah, blah. He's a gorilla. And there's this kid that was holding like a cup of soda or something like that.
Water.
It was water.
Right
It was water. We're right in front of us, so he's holding this water, and he says something like, "You suck." August looks at him, slaps the water out of his hand,
And then looks at
and runs.
At the kid. Then he looks at the kid and he goes, "Clean that up, you little shit," and walks away.
August Artois is... I'm going to use a quote from Corey here. If someone doesn't sign this guy to a major promotion, I'm pissed.
Yeah.
They're missing it.
This guy is so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like him winning, like you're expecting. He's from the States. Cut a promo. He did cut a promo on like there's a guy that was getting married. Like we missed that. There was like a promo in the ring with a guy getting married. August Artois comes out. It's like, "You're married, huh? That just means you're a virgin. But your old lady's not a virgin. She's waiting for me at the hotel right now." And he's telling him, "Get out of my ring." And he's holding the ropes down, but like the way a lady would get out of the ring is like, "Go, get out," like a woman would.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "No." And August just goes and does his thing, and the guy's still standing there. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing? Get out of my ring." He's really getting mad now. But the entire match, there are guys behind us that were fucking hilarious all night. And August Artois got like long hair, but it's just a little bit of hair on top of his head.
The
and
old Justin Newhook look.
The old Justin Newhook look. And they called him Smeagol.
Smeagol,
So
yeah.
it's from not Harry Potter,
Lord of
but
the
the other
Rings.
one, Lord of the Rings. I always get these two confused. And
Gollum, in other words.
he's looking back and he's like intrigued. You can tell he's having so much fun.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to keep serious, and he's got, "Who?" And they're like, "Smeagol." And then they go, "My precious." And he goes, "Oh," and he points like, "Oh, that's a good one." Just everything about this match was great. You're expecting Wesley Pipes to win because, and if Wesley would have won, Wesley's great. Wesley Pipes is great. But you're expecting it's a one and done. He's an import from the States and shit on Canada, blame Canada and all that.
Yeah.
When he got the win, I was like, we get to see him again?
Yeah.
So yeah, he won, guys.
Come on. He won. August Artois, just the things, a little thing. Going back and watching Corey, you're right now, you're watching clips from that. Go to the August Artois match when they're in the corner where you are, but on the other side.
Yeah.
He hits someone with a bottle of water, and it splashes an old lady, and she's got a drink of some sort, and she throws it at him in anger. And just like, ugh, the nerve of that boy. Just little things like that. He's telling the crowd, "Get out of the way, I'm going to throw him in the crowd. Get out of the way." And he goes to throw him, and he throws him in the ring, and he points at every single one of them. Stupid, 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 stupid.
So-
This guy is my favorite wrestler right now.
Here's the thing. That particular spot, he went the extra mile and took away the barricades.
Yep.
Told everybody to get out of the way. Everybody cleared like a bunch of penguins.
Yeah.
And then he throws the guy into the ring. It was that extra mile that did it for me.
Oh yeah, it was just the small things. Like even at the start of the match, when when like the referee pats you down to make sure you get no hidden objects on you or whatever. Well, Sharky goes over and he does it to Pipes, and then he goes over and he does it to Artois, and then Artois spins and he starts patting Sharky down. And then Pipes comes running at him, so Artois jumps out of the ring, and then he looks at everybody and goes, "Did you know the ref has a dick this big?" Oh my god, I never laughed so hard in all my life. And I mean, everybody knows Sharky's like 2'5". So it was a funny spot, but it was like you had to be in that corner to hear it. It was really good.
Yeah.
It was funny.
So Ref Jesse from IHW was on commentary for IPW and did a fantastic job.
Absolutely.
100%.
But at one point, Artois goes out and grabs Jesse's glass and takes a drink of Jesse's water and goes, "What What's wrong with you? Why are you drinking this? And puts it back down like the guy's drinking hard stuff. Smells it, sells it like crazy.
Yeah.
It's small details, man. Artois is so entertaining. And I'll say exactly what Corey said earlier. Sin that this guy isn't signed somewhere. Matter of time that he isn't signed somewhere. He's going to be. So if you want to see Argus Artois on the Maritimes, get your ass across that bridge. September 6th, game over. He'll be there. We'll be there. I'll damn sure be there. I'll swill. I'll swill.
I'll swim
the goddamn crossing if I need to. I'm going to be at that show.
I'm starting to
all
consider
swill
buying
there.
a house there.
Just another little detail on Artois. He also holds 2 other titles around the world. He holds a title called, I think it's Talent Wrestling in the UK. And he also holds the Full Impact Pro Championship in Clearwater, Florida.
Really?
And that Full Impact Pro Championship has been held by John Moxley, Daniel Bryanson, Austin Theory, Seth Rollins.
Yeah, the Full Impact Pro, Bryan Danielson actually held that title while he was Ring of Honor champion.
Yeah,
so there's some weight behind that belt.
That title has probably, I would say, an easy 10 to 12 big name prestige people on that title. And Artois is the longest reigning champion currently at over 560 days.
That is incredible.
So,
my God, you start talking titles. I literally saw Corey's dick get hard through the camera right there. He loves talking.
His microphone started to go up.
You saw it too, right? His mic went woo.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, there you go.
Good
thing Artois wasn't here because he'd say it'd be that big.
He'd be lying. They don't know if you said small or big, so I'll leave it up to your imagination.
Just like
main event time. There you go. Main event time for the Prince Edward Island Championship. Fantana beats the Ultimate Male Zane Valentine. This match had a little bit of everything. Number one, I'm going to start with Zane Valentine. What a career resurgence for this guy.
Yeah.
He was in XWA over a decade ago, like 2009, 10, like something like that. Now he's doing CCW, he's doing IPW, he's doing Superstars of Wrestling. I'd love to see him in a North Pro ring. I'd love to see him in UCW. I'd love to see him go to everywhere. Pro Wrestling Unleashed. Eric Bass was not there. He is suspended, as you all know. This match had a little bit of everything. A fantastic match. Zane, someone told me he's not a good wrestler. And I said, well, you're wrong. First of all, you're wrong. Yeah. And I look at this match and I say, watch this match and then come talk to me. This is a fantastic match. And people say, oh, well, Fantana's one of the best workers in the business. True. Very true.
100%.
No. Zane Valentine, it takes 2 to tango.
Yeah.
Zane Valentine here impressed the fuck out of me. I was already a fan. With this match, it was just... You didn't expect him to lose the belt.
No, I didn't think
everybody
it was at all.
Everybody expected, well, Eric Bass is going to come out in like a chicken suit or something and cost Fantana the match, and that's how we're going to go.
For that, to be honest with you.
But by the end of the match, the screen starts glitching. And on the screen is the man that will be appearing on the Unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast interview series on Canada Day, No Class Bobby Bass, the OG himself. You know, he said, that's it. I'm coming to PEI. I'm going to the brewing company. September 6th, I will be there, and I will be confronting Zane Valentine and Eric Bass. You know, copyright infringement, be damned. Let's settle this. Fantana with a quick roll-up, and we have a new PEI champion. The crowd popped because he really didn't expect to happen.
Yeah.
He just won the belt, you know, a few months ago. So, Jason, maybe he can go into more details than I did, but to me, this match, as much as I loved Orion Silva, as much as I love the angle with AWOL with DDT and Ricky Mortis and Logan Green. This match was my favorite match of the night because it just had a little bit of everything.
Yeah, well, that's what IPW is doing. Is they're building very solid multiple storylines.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this one here is no different. They actually, by having Fantano in this match, they actually split this storyline into 2 brand new storylines.
Yep.
Exactly.
Which is absolutely fantastic because there's not just a continuance for the title, there's now a continuance for the name of No Class. So now you're getting 2 different trajectories for your next show and beyond. So you've got like you mentioned, the No Class Bobby Bass angle coming in September. And then after the match is over and Fantana's standing there with the title after he does the celebration, again, the screen flickers. And you have Caden that pops up.
Mm-hmm.
And saying that he watched the match and it's his turn for a title shot. And he goes into a rap. And Corey's got his finger up.
I think it was Corey Robbie's show. It was Corey or Mark that told me this, or maybe it was Jason. I don't remember. Someone told me that Caden was in the Twitch live stream commenting the entire time.
Yeah, so Tracy was watching the live stream, and she's like, that name's familiar. There was somebody in the chat that was commenting on the show as it was going on, and the name was Port City's finest, Caden. And she's like, that name's familiar, but she couldn't place it. Tracy's a huge wrestling fan, but casual, you know? She doesn't know everybody in the Maritime. She's going to forget people's names. She knows who Caden is. She's seen him. So when he pops up on screen, she connects the dots. But again, this is IPW selling it, man. Selling it. He's in the chat. So he's watching the stream. Well, the match finishes. Now he wants a shot at Fantana. He's been watching all night. Now he's on the screen rapping to Fantana that Fantana's going to get his ass beat on September 6th. I love it. I fucking love it.
I know a lot of people booed when they saw Caden. Caden's another one of those guys that I absolutely adore. And the second he popped out on the screen, I like smacked my hand on the table and I went, "Yes!"
Oh yes,
and Jason
I know, he almost blew out my eardrum.
Jason goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "It's Caden, man. I'm a mark for this guy." So anyway, I was like hoping that he would like kind of sneak in, like this would have been a pre-recorded thing and he would sneak in, but he wasn't there. He was there in spirit on the screen. Just the attention to details also on the background when he's talking. You know, the Hollywood sign? Well, he had but it was the St. John sign, which I believe they have that in St. John, right?
Yes, but here's the thing. That is the sign that Zane Valentine made his promo about changing the name of the title to the Irving Wrestling title.
That's hilarious.
That is the sign.
Yeah, this show, 10 out of 10. Mark, Corey, I know take your chance to talk about this match.
Great match. Super happy for Fantana. Couldn't be happier for Fantana. I love that guy, man. He's such a nice guy. Such a great wrestler. Been around for so long. I'm a Fantana mark. So hiding that. This show's the best wrestling show I've seen in the Maritime since the Capitol Theater. And thankfully it didn't get interrupted by some guy winning a belt that we're not going to talk about right now.
PCO?
PC, no. It was perfect, man. This was incredible. They even, credit to IPW, they even, during their birthday shoutouts, they gave a shout out to our buddy Connor.
That's
which is a nice little touch. So I can tell you, if I can make it happen, Connor's going to be in PEI on September 6th as well. So.
What's funny about that is they announce it, and I think Jason turns to me, "Was that you?" I go, "No." We look at Mark, "Was that you?" "No." "Jason, is that you?" "No." And then we ask Corey, "Did you tell them about?" "No." They just did that.
Yep.
They just, like, IPW is just top notch. I want to touch on Fantana for a second. Shout out to Mark.
As much as you like Corey.
It was the first time ever meeting him in person, shaking his hand and all that. I love it when wrestlers can prove me wrong. I always looked at Fantana as a mid-card workhorse. And in recent months, I know I was wrong with that. This match completely proved me absolutely wrong. This was a main event caliber match for a main event caliber title, and just Fantana. We talk about draws. And how many young kids go to these shows just for Fantana?
Yeah.
There are kids right now that are 5, 6, 7, 8 years old that are going to grow up, and when they're our age, they're going to be like when Dave Boyce talks about Leo Burke, there are some kids that are going to be talking about Fantana like he was like Rey Mysterio. Who? Fantana's where it's at.
Yeah.
Like he's some like we take things for granted. We take things for granted sometimes, and we've taken Fantana for granted a long time. Like, he's just one of the absolute best. I'm so happy for him. Just couldn't happen to a greater guy. So I'm really proud to have him as the PEI champion. And I think he's a veteran of this sport, but I still think he hasn't reached the ceiling yet. You know, I think he's got more left in.
I think he's got a lot left in the tank, and he's right now probably in the best shape of his career. He's put on a bunch of muscle. He looks like $1 million right now. He's moving great. And I think there's a lot of big things left for him to come.
Agreed.
Fucking Corey says he's proud to have him as the PEI title, as if Corey's Anna Green Gables or something. Like he's the keeper of the island. I'm so
I have
proud
no
to have
clue what
you
that
as my
means.
champion. Of course, you
Angry
wouldn't.
little elf is like, I don't know,
Oh
lives in the
my
lighthouse
God.
in PEI.
Yeah.
So 10 out of 10 show. We can't wait to get back to PEI for Game Over.
There's a couple other little things I just want to talk about for the
Go for it.
IPW as well. Outside of the matches, all the matches, 10 out of 10. Fantastic. But their production quality that they put on,
Oh my God.
Unreal.
I mean, you've got the entrance, you've got the sparklers, the lights, and I'm not talking just like lights that are pointing down. We've got laser lights going on. You got sparklers. You got smoke machines. The Titantron. But the thing that really impressed me the most, and it's like I say, it's the little things. They've got a full crew, a ring crew that literally takes care of crap going on in the ring between matches.
Wiping down the ropes and all that.
Wiping down the ropes, taking the sweat off the ropes, cleaning up after putting mortise through the door. There's shrapnel everywhere. They had that whole ring cleaned out in like 45 seconds. Brooms are out. People are moving things around. They're adjusting things. Everything is like unbelievable production. Their Twitch stream is crazy good. They've got 2 fixed hard cams. They got an overhead cam. They got a fixed cam, and somebody walking around the ring with a camera. So there's all kinds of action. As Corey mentioned earlier, Jesse was with Adam doing commentary. Fantastic commentary. Yeah, all the little things. It's unbelievable. They have one of the best products I've seen in the Maritimes, hands down so far.
Agreed, 100%.
Yeah, they've really raised the bar, and I'm really hoping that it doesn't affect my perception of other products, because there are other products that really, really do have an amazing product, either in the way of just exceptional performances, whether it be storylines, whether it be character development, but it's just that they put all of this together, and I feel like they made it so easy for the talent to shine that it was just incredible to see them so hyped up, fresh, and just ready to rock, man. Like,
Yep.
you could see it, like, you know.
And you mentioned that they set up their talent for success as well, but they also they help the talent as well, because most places we go to, or I go to, the talent sets up the ring.
Yeah.
They get everything. They put the chairs out after the show is done. They tear the ring down. They bring it in the truck. It's the talent, the new guys, the rookies, whatever, help tear everything down. IPW has a full crew that sets the ring up, sets the chair up, and does the complete tear down without the talent having to touch a thing. So the talent can show up, focus on the match. They don't have to worry about lugging the ring, setting up chairs. Everything is taken care of outside of the talent. And I think that's fantastic. It's just another step forward in progression of the industry.
Yeah, building talent, like even not having them do that, they can get feedback from veterans. They can, go that little extra mile for their performance to work.
Yeah.
Right? Their mental focus, their preparation, like all of that is, and I know it's kind of far-fetched because I don't know if that is truly the case, but I can only imagine that it is a lot easier for somebody that is a professional for a big company, like let's say WWE, TNA, AEW, for them to go out and completely prepare what they need to be successful compared to somebody that is up and coming and, needs to build the ring before kind of going over, if they have a script or whatever they want to go over for a promo or whatever it is, right? Kind of go over their match. Well, they have to set that up and they have to, and it takes a toll on a person, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, like if you take, I don't know, in this case, August Artois was the first time he's ever been up here.
Yeah.
Him and Pipes have worked together in the past, but this is their first time together here. I'm not sure when Artois showed up, but if the talent had to set up the ring prior to the show, and it takes an hour to set up, and we had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 matches. Everybody needs time in the ring to iron out their set lists and their move lists and what they're going to do. If everybody gets 20 minutes because everybody has to set the ring up, set all the chairs up, get everything ready, or you show up to the thing, the ring's already set up, you get changed, you get in, you do your rotation right away, everybody has a chance to put in that extra time to make everything look better. And regardless if you're setting up the ring, yes, the ring boards and the poles and everything are heavy, but these guys are supposed to all be in shape. They can carry that stuff. But what happens is if one of those wrestlers accidentally hurts themselves setting up or tearing that ring down, then they're out long term. If the venue or the promotion like IPW has a crew that goes in, sets it up and tears it down, there's less risk for the talent to injure themselves outside of the ring. And I think it's just proof that it's showing that other little extra step that IPW is taking, thinking outside of the box in order to protect their talent long term.
Agreed. I just want to give a thanks to the wrestlers.
Yeah, buddy.
There's a part during the night at the end where I'm interviewing wrestlers where I think I'm interviewing DDT at the time. I think they were the first guys. And Corey's on my left. And he goes, Votour. I turn to my left and he goes, look to your right. And I turn to the right and there's like 5-6 wrestlers waiting to get interviewed. So time is precious, we all know that. And 14 interviews. No, they're
right.
Exactly.
So,
right? They're not taking down the ring, so they don't have to. You know what I mean? They can take the
time,
5 minutes to
And it's one of those things. 12 wrestlers and one ring announcer and one referee that I interviewed. I think we interviewed like 6 hockey players once, and that was the record. 14 is going to be not too easy to top, but how willing they were, how giving they were with their time. I said it on episode 1. We're 4 jabrones that just love maritime wrestling.
Yeah.
And the fact that we got 14 interviews, we got 15 people. Let's not forget, dudes doing things there too. So we got 15 people interviewed. Just, thank you to everybody. August Artois has to be my favorite that I did just because of how he looks at me. I'll say this. I won't spoil the end, but he goes, can I swear? I said, yes. He goes, are you sensitive? I'm like, no. Press record. I'll leave it at that. The interviews will be going up on Facebook individually. I think Jason is going to be putting them up on Facebook. Jason made the graphics and all that. Jason is also the guy that would go get the wrestlers. Not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah.
Some of them wear headphones that are black and orange.
Black and red.
Black and red.
Line.
Wow.
Holy fuck.
One job.
So, with that being said, we are nearly 2 hours in, and we got a couple more things to talk about. Jason, upcoming shows.
Upcoming shows. Dave Boyce, Championship Wrestling.
DBCW?
Yeah.
Ooh,
There's a Beach Party 2, Parkside Pub, coming up on June 14th.
Nice.
Some nice matches as well. Ethan Knight versus Ricky Mortis.
Love
Dawson James versus Big T. Chris
Love it.
Charlton versus Max Powers.
Love it.
Madison Miles taking on the Maritime Heavyweight Champion Chip Chambers.
Chip Charters.
Chip Charters.
What the fuck? That's an interesting match.
Yeah.
I like him as much as I like Chris Chambers.
So those are the 4 that have been announced, but Deuce is also on the card and a bunch more, so it should definitely be pretty good. Also on June 14th, East Coast Pro Wrestling, ECPW, has Island Invasion in New Waterford, Nova Scotia. There's a few matches that have been announced already. Jonathan Cross versus JP Sims.
That should be great.
The ECPW Celtic Roots Championship match. Champion Justin Newhook is taking on Bobby Boyette.
That should be amazing.
The ECPW Women's Championship, champion Vanessa Craven is taking on Alexia Nicole.
That should be awesome.
And the ECPW Heavyweight Championship match, champion Vincent Keane is taking on TNA Superstar.
I think Jason's mic is dying.
This is Mike just did something weird.
Everybody, can you hear me now?
It's better.
Yeah, we
It's
can
better.
hear you.
You're
There we
back.
go. Welcome
So
back.
the main event
That's
again.
my last match.
All right, so last match, ECPW Heavyweight Championship. Lincoln Steen is taking on TNA Superstar Cody Deaner.
That should be
cool.
amazing.
So, yeah, also on the card, Andre Mayette and a few others. So, only 2 shows this weekend coming up. So, if you're in Dartmouth, head on over to Parkside Pub, or if you're in the New Waterford, Sydney area, head over to the District Community Center for some great wrestling.
Some great wrestling. And our final segment today is
2
our
more.
fan question of the week. No. I
Mark,
just have to get interrupted.
it's time for what?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's
Sunday.
Sunday. Not today, but it was yesterday. Since today is Monday. It's the unofficial Maritime Wrestling trivia question. Yes, it is. But, so, I'm going to read out the question, and we're going to do it like last week, basically. We're going to go over like who had the right answers. This was a little bit of a different one. I think some people were fairly confident, but it wasn't the right answer. So yeah, it's a little bit of a mix-up.
So what's the question?
So the question itself, I'm just going to bring it up because I did have it here.
Having a hard time focusing.
So-
Did you get your Timmy's today?
No Timmy's. But
Pony show.
the question was, what was the name of the promotion that succeeded ESA's International Wrestling in the Maritimes? And the answer, well, not the answer actually. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna read out the different answers that we'll put into the on Facebook on the group, and now there's a couple of them that were mentioned that were the Atlantic Grand Prix Wrestling, but that is not the correct answer, guys.
It is not.
That is not the correct answer. And the correct answer to that question was Trans-Canada Wrestling. And there is one person that got the right answer. And this was a Connor, but not the same Connor. It was Connor Smith that got the right answer.
VP of the BSHL, Connor Smith.
Kudos to him. Absolutely.
Kudos to him.
That was a doozy compared to the other one.
Join us again on Sunday for Sunday Maritime Wrestling Question of the Week.
This is going to build Connor Smith's ego even higher. He's going to be unbearable.
We're going to take him back down next week.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Good friend of mine, good friend of Corey's. We love Connor.
Absolutely. So the fan question of the week, Jason.
This one comes from a gentleman by the name of Carl Leblanc. Which promotion in the Maritimes do you think has the most momentum right now?
So my answer changed from last week to now. My answer last week, and it's an honorable mention, it can easily be on this list. My answer was going to be IHW. IHW's everywhere right now. They're in Riverview, they're in Miramichi, they're coming to Bucktouche. After last Saturday, my answer is IPW. The little things that they do. I haven't been this excited for a promotion since North Pro started up in 2020. So having that feeling back means a lot to me. And my answer is IPW, Island Pro Wrestling.
My answer changed as well. IHW. I'm loving IHW. I've been to more IHW shows than probably some talent on the cards. Anywhere they go, I go. At one point I had tickets for 3 IHW shows at the same time in like 3 weeks. I love their talent. I love what they're doing right now. IPW. What can I say, man? There's something special there, something special brewing at the brewing company in PEI. I think this year is going to be a growth year for them. I think next year is going to be the year where they really cement themselves as one of the top companies in the Maritimes. And, great guys. I'm happy for them. I love that they're booking a lot of random talent from everywhere in the Maritimes. And I love what they're doing. So, keep it up, Deuce. Keep it up. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to stick with Deuce because Summers is a little bit, not as friendly with me. He's a little, Summers is awesome. I love Summers. No, man, these guys are doing the right things, and I'm very happy for them, proud of them. It's great to see them. It's great that we had that relationship really early on with them, and they've let us, I don't know, not peek behind the curtain, but they've let us in as close to the curtain as they possibly can, and that means a lot. So, for just for 4 schmucks from New Brunswick, I'm already excited for September 6th. Here's how good that damn show was. Tracy's coming September 6th. Cheryl's coming September 6th. Caleb's coming September 6th. Connor's going to be coming September 6th. I think everybody wants to go September 6th.
Charlotte's coming September 6th. Dwayne's coming September 6th. Jenna's coming September 6th. So,
it's just something about it, man. It's not hard to put over a show that was that much fun. To your friends and your family. So everybody that might not be able to make it once the time comes closer, but I tell you that the interest in IPW from our circle has gone up exponentially. Oh my God.
Yeah. Buzzin'. BUZZIN. Buzzin'.
All right, go ahead, Mark. You're next.
Bazinga.
Hey, I'm not even bragging. Not even bragging. This is coming from a humble place. But my answer did not change. What?
I'm just going to mute you.
Oh,
okay, go, Mark.
You go ahead. You try. But yeah, honestly, my answer did not change. After seeing what the first event was and what it was from a distance, my initial answer was IPW and still is IPW. Knowing what type of effort is being put into these events, and they completely deserve it. Incredible. Like, coming into the place, being at the place, the matches themselves, the production, the venue, there's a waitress that comes around at the tables to bring you your food. It's crazy. Like, you don't have this anywhere else. And the fact that, and we've heard of this before, I believe it was from LG with his sassy sparklers there. But, like, man, it gets them pumped up, right?
It
like,
does.
They have full setup. Like, they have the pyro, they have the smoke machines, they have the Titantron. They have, like, man, they give them all that they need to succeed. And I can't wait to see where it's going. And this is based on what we knew at the time. Like, this is just insane.
Yeah.
Okay, so mine is not IPW, considering you guys all went all out on IPW.
Scandal, Jason.
Yeah. Obviously, IPW is fantastic. They are definitely an honorable mention, close second to the one that I think has the most momentum right now. A couple other honorable mentions: North Pro. The stuff they're doing with Pro Wrestling Ontario, I think that's going to be a big hit coming within the next few shows. Another honorable mention: United Wrestling. The stuff they're doing, the R-rated promos they're doing, I think they're putting on a show every 3 to 4 weeks. So it's just one show after another. Fantastic. I love what they're doing. But for me, it's IHW this year. It's their 20th anniversary year. They are pumping out show after show. I think they've already put out 6 shows this year. They're doing Riverview, Miramichi. They're doing Bucktouche. They're doing Grand Bay Westfield. They did St. John with the Lucha Libre show. They've got the big Sunfest show coming up in this month.
They did Amherst.
They did Amherst. They've got September to Surrender building up. So it's their 20th anniversary. They've got the new Honor title. They've got the new title for Chris as well. They're just doing so many things. They're starting a women's division.
title. Yeah.
So it's just, there's so much momentum. They're doing everything great, and they're reinventing everything in their 20th year. So I think IHW for me is the winner of the most momentum right now. Now, in September, that could be completely different. There could be, from now until September, there could be a whole different promotion that steps up to the plate.
Yep.
And starts a new promotion. But as of right now, I think it's IHW.
And that was the fan question of the week. Jason, can you give out the email before we sign out?
I can, yeah. Give me 1 second, Aaron, to grab it, because I can never remember it. Unofficial.mw for Maritime Wrestling .podcast @gmail.com.
So if you have a fan question of the week that you would like to hear on the podcast, give old Jason there a quick email, and we'll see.
Yeah, for sure. Again, thanks to Demonic for the intro.
Thank you, Demonic. Thank you to Carl for the fan question of the week.
And
I just wanted to say, I think that intro is probably my favorite up to now. That was pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
No,
my favorite.
The theatrics are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Also, after this episode comes out, 9 o'clock is Matt Chevron's interview.
Matt Chevron will be on tonight. We haven't recorded that one yet. That will be happening on Tuesday. Like Corey said, we are on Monday right now, but this comes out on Wednesday, so tonight at 9, Matt Chevron. And that'll be it for us this week. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, boys, for joining the podcast once again. Not leaving me here alone. I really appreciate that. Hate being alone.
Our pleasure.
Loner.
Loner. All right, take care, everybody.
What a mark.
Good night.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and remember to catch us here every Wednesday for a new episode. Please visit us on Facebook, Instagram, and more. Links are in the description. See you next time.
Don't miss out and don't be late. Hear wrestling talk that's first rate.